Hello and welcome to this video tutorial by Tripple A Tutorial. In this video, we are going to take a closer look at Artboards in Adobe Illustrator. In the last episode, I demonstrated how to customize workspaces. If you have not seen that episode, okay, workspaces is basically a panel setup in Adobe Illustrator. For this tutorial, we will be using this workspace, and along the way we will be referencing the Artboard panel, which is situated here next to my layers panel. Or if the Artboard is not active, go to Window and make it active on your panel. So one will ask, what are Artboards in Adobe Illustrator? They are canvases that make up a document. Okay, so all these are the canvases that make up of a document. Okay, Adobe Illustrator allows you to create multiple artboards in a document, like what we have on this our page here. Okay, they are multiple artboards. This is useful if you want to create small documents like leaflets or like a flyer or simple, okay, or simple expand your workspace area to create various versions of your artboard. Okay, so here I have a document open. This document you see here, that's what we are going to use to demonstrate. Okay, so here I have a document open, like a small leaflet that consists of 6 portraits of artboards. So as you can see, I have 6 portraits of artboards here. Okay, so this is what we do. First, this is the artboard panel. Okay, so in case we want to rearrange them, or maybe you are working on layer 1, okay, which is artboard 1, and you realize that, oh, the artboard 1 have to replace with the artboard 5. Okay, so it means that the 1 is coming to where the 5 is, and the 5 is going up to where the 1 is. Okay, so to do that is very simple. So when you have this panel here, let's click on the 1 as the artboard 1 is being selected. Then let's use this move down arrow key. Okay, so when we press, you can see that we are moving our artboard 1 to 5. Okay, then after that we move our 5 to 1, so we use the move up button. Okay, here so you can see that so nothing have really changed on the artboard as the canvases here. Okay, on the pasteboard. So this is what we do. We need to refresh it. Okay, so by doing that, see this option here, you click, then you come all the way down here to rearrange all artboards. Okay, so then we click it. Alright, so when you click it, then you just click OK. So automatically you realize that the 5 have gone to where the 1 is, and the 1 has replaced the 5. They have replaced each other. Okay, so now let's say we want to view the 3 alone. Okay, so this is what you do. You put your cursor around this area, then you double click. Okay, so the moment you double click, you have your artboard 3 visible to you, so you can do whatever edit you want to do. All right, okay, so now if you want to change a name of an artboard, okay, you just come on the name here, then you double click on it. So this double click will allow you to change it. Okay, so let's, for example, change the figure 6 to where 6. Then you click outside here. Automatically, you have renamed your artboard. Okay, so adding a new artboard in different size. All right, so let me undo this my changes I did here. Let me undo it to the very first one. Okay, now let me view completion on the artboard, drag it to the builder. All right, now we want to add a different artboard with a different size. Okay, so to do that, we come onto the control panel here. Okay, where the tools are. See this icon here, it's Artboard 2. Okay, so when we click on it, you see that there are some grid around here. Okay, but we want to create new one, so we can click and drag. Okay, maybe if we can create very big one, we can click it and drag it, and if we are okay with the size, we let it go. Okay, or maybe this size you want to choose different size, okay, of an artboard. So whilst the new one that you create is being selected, come onto the control panel here, then we can change the presets here. We have the A4, the A3 and stuff, and we have all of them. Okay, phone screens and stuff. So let's say for example we want to that new artboard size should be A3. So when we click on A3, you see how, so now we have our A3. Okay, so I'll just undo it, but it's too big. Alright, so that's how to add a new artboard and change the size. Alright, so the next thing I want us to look at is we have created this as a document already, and we realize that the page 2 has to be a portrait. Okay, how then do we change it? So by doing that, first select on the artboard that you want to change the orientation. Okay, then you come all the way to the option bar here. Okay, then you click. So when you click this time around, you go to artboard options. Okay, so when these artboard options comes up, you see that we have this orientation here. So the default one is portrait. Now we want to change it to landscape. Okay, so what we just have to do is click on the landscape here, then we click OK. So you realize that your main artboard changes. Okay, so let's get rid of this one. Let's get rid of this big one here. Okay, so let's drag it and delete it. Okay, fine. So now we realize that when we change the 2 to portrait, the content hasn't changed, or maybe the color haven't changed inside either. Okay, so this is what we just have to do. We just have to resize it to fit to the edges. But you can see that the 2 pages overlapping the 1 and the 3. Okay, so for us to get it well arranged, you just have to go to your option here, then you go to rearrange all artboards. Okay, then you click OK. So automatically it's going to rearrange them. Okay, so it's for you to drag and place it on it nicely. Then this one, you just have to resize it to fit in the size of the artboard. Okay, so you do it nicely like this. Okay, so we have, now you know how to create a new artboard. You know how to change the orientation of artboard. You know how to change the size of it using the control panel. Okay, so the next thing we are going to look at is changing the columns of an artboard or artboard. So what I mean by that is, let me recite this one a little bit. What I mean by that is, so we have 3 columns, okay, and 2. So this artboard is being arranged in columns. Okay, so it's in 3 columns. So the moment you reach 3, it will break the next page to the next side. Okay, so for example, we want to change the column. Okay, so if we should go to, first let me revert this my number 2 page to its default state. Okay, so it's just by clicking undo then. Okay, so now that one, all you need to do is, you see this little icon here. Okay, we have rearrange all artboards. Okay, either you click on it, or we go to our option here, then we go to rearrange our artboard. Okay, now as you can see, we have the grid by row. Okay, so the grid by row is what we have, the 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, now the next one is grid by column. So if grid by column, if we should select grid by column, see what happens. So we have selected. So now we want the rows to be 3. So if we click OK, so you can see that our artboard changed in rows. So it's 3 rows and 2 columns. Okay, so these are the rows and these are the columns. Okay, all right. So now if we should go back there again, then we arrange our artboard. Then we go by the third one, arrange by row. Okay, then we click arrange by row, and then we click OK. Let's see. Okay, all our artboard has been arranged in a row. Okay, so all depends on what you are working on, how you want your artboard to be aligned. Okay, so that one is your own choice. All right, so let's go back and check the last option on it. So the last option we have there is arrange by column. So it's the same thing as the row. Okay, so when we click on arrange by column and then we click OK, so you see that it changed in column again. Okay, so if you are to reset it back to our default column, all what we need to do is come all the way back to grid by row. Okay, then we leave the 3 like that, then we click OK. So OK will bring us back to our default artboards. Okay, so that covers artboard in Adobe Illustrator. In the next video, we will be learning about some vector basics and how we can begin to operate them in Adobe Illustrator. Okay, so see you in the next video.